Yeah. The shoulders. Easy on that.
First.
Then you do the foot pull. Oh, the pigeon. I like the pigeon.
Pull. And then you do your back pull.
Quad pull.
And you do your
toe touches.
Oh, I almost slipped out of that.
Oh yeah, you
Back. And then we do lunges. Yeah. Then
The question is, how do you at home warm up before you listen to the Boom podcast?
This is one of my favorite times, just to watch what you guys do prior to the podcast beginning.
I don't ever notice what you do.
I do
or
nothing.
usually what Christian
Very
does.
rarely.
Yeah, she doesn't do anything.
I don't
What do you do?
anything. I observe.
Do you stand? You stand and observe?
Sometimes I do little shake it out,
Little
but
shoulder
I just
shaking
really am engrossed in what you guys come up with next.
As the
Or like
podcast,
just gross.
stop. As
You
the
better-
you know what? First one of the year. Let's fire it up this season. Todd just insulted Megan. Let's just have it, just to try to send a message. That's a warning. That's a warning.
Yeah.
Just be
You just
on
want to
guard.
be like us.
You guys can do better. They don't understand our love, baby. All right. So we usually start the podcast with some standing, some gesticulating, some stretching, some dancing. Megan usually does nothing, she says. I typically stretch. I like it. Todd always finds something strange to do.
He does.
Christian normally stretches a little bit, right?
A little bit,
Stretch
yeah.
a little
stretchy
or
too
dance
for
a
you.
little.
Just
Little
a
stretch.
bit.
Little stretchy.
Todd just usually takes it just like one step or 30
Yeah.
steps too far.
It would be
and so
interesting
it's
to
fun.
say, out of the 200 podcasts we've done, or however many, how many of them start with us acknowledging or responding to what Todd is doing in the
Right.
intro song?
I'd
I
say
bet
all
it's-
of them.
A vast majority.
I would say at least, 60 or 70%.
Yeah. Yep.
So that's good.
Agreed.
He's a real catalyst.
If it
You're a real
wasn't for me,
trendsetter.
your first 2 minutes of the podcast would suck.
we would dive right into helpful content, and nobody wants
The
that.
other 27 are dynamite, though.
Welcome to the show. I am
Dynamite.
Terry. That is Todd to the left, the little fire starter, the little engine that
I
could.
am your fire starter.
Across the
remember that song?
street
Yeah.
from me is producer Christian, and to his left is Megan.
Hey.
Jordy's running around here somewhere doing what Jordy does.
Jordy.
You remember that one time he had to write a song in like 9 minutes and
Oh,
he
that was
crushed
so
it? It was the
mean.
best song
It was
I've
the
ever
best,
heard.
yeah.
He's so good. Okay, so welcome back to season 3 of the podcast. We are on episode 4. The only thing to sphere is sphere itself, part 2.
Just makes me so happy.
We do want to connect with you. Info at boomrealestatepodcast.com. Check out Real Estate on Purpose at reonpurpose.com. That's our flagship premier course situation. We are on social media on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And since we're talking about sphere marketing, that webinar that Todd does, it's a 1-hour deep dive into how we do sphere marketing on our team and how we suggest you do it in your business. That's a free webinar, and you can sign up for the next one that's coming up at boomspheremarketing.com. So check that out. How good was part 1 of sphere marketing?
It was pretty incredible.
We learned, we remembered, we realized that real estate is a simple game like baseball. Dick Alter said it.
Yes.
Our fellow coach in high school, he said
Coach
it's a
Dick Alter.
simple game, Coach Dick Alter. And we apply that to real estate. And we say it's a simple game. It's grow your sphere. It's market to your sphere. Last week's episode was how to grow your sphere. This week we're talking about marketing to your sphere. And I'm super pumped. I think it is shocking. We talk to a lot of agents around the country, right? And it's shocking how few of them have any kind of sphere marketing in place. It's shocking and appalling. It's the lowest of all hanging fruit.
Yep.
It's the funnest of all hanging fruit that you could be
the best
rocking
fruit.
for your business.
Yep.
It's just you being a good friend to your friends. Why aren't you doing it, right? Where is your system? And so that's what we're talking about right now.
Aristotle once said,
Oh, wow. I did not expect that.
He who has overcome his spheres will truly be free.
Wow.
And Plato once said,
Wow.
courage is knowing what not to sphere.
Yeah. Well said.
I used to love Play-Doh when I was a kid.
I did too.
You get different colors and combine them together and then sort of make it.
Just eat a little of it.
Every time the kids get out their Play-Doh,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, wow.
this is
like,
awesome.
why are they even separate colors? Because you know you're going to mix them together. And then you're like, which case do they go back in? Because now
Doesn't
they're
matter.
not color-coded.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't
You just
matter.
shove it
And they
in.
all eventually form into a brown hardened
Yeah.
rock.
Hard rock.
They end up out and they're, Yep.
The,
There's
Play-Doh.
always one kid that puts it back in the right color, though. The kid like you, Todd, that has to have it the right
yes,
color.
it needs to be-
Were you,
I will dissect that Play-Doh.
Right?
Get out your X-Acto
Put
knife.
it back.
yeah.
Yeah.
Carve it out.
Can
Surgery
we-
on the Play-Doh.
Can we acknowledge that the maker of slime should be delivered to some kind of torture device.
Oh yeah, you're not
there
a
was
slime
many
guy.
things I was going to say in my head. And I
Not a
realized-
Well, you
slime
did a
guy.
good
Pulled out
job
at the
Might be
last
too
minute.
editing.
far.
Good job.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Back on the stick, and you're in a dive.
We thank you
slime,
for keeping it
man.
appropriate.
Woo. It
Do you
is
know
the
what's worse
worst.
than slime?
Oh,
Orbeez.
Orbeez. And that's
Orbeez
thanks
do
to
get
the
everywhere.
You
Wagner
don't know
family.
what
We didn't
these
know what
are.
Orbeez was.
Google that, Orbeez. Or anything, any offshoot.
ORB.
EEZ.
Oh, Orbeez. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a whole. They're spheres,
Yeah, they
and
are.
they're like wet and squishy, kind of.
And they're small when
Yeah,
they
they're
start.
very small. We
really
filled a
big.
bathtub in the Wagoner home with Orbeez. It was pretty
And
fun.
then you
for
put
the
them in
kids.
water and they expand. And they're super like sensory stimulating.
Yeah.
And
They
they're
are. They're
actually
really
really
satisfying
fun
to
to
play
play
with,
with.
yes.
Yeah.
But
then
yeah, it's the mother of all
the
messes.
cleanup
The
is...
kiddos watch some guys fill their outdoor pool, like
Wow.
above ground pool.
Yeah.
Bad
with
idea.
Orbeez.
With Orbeez.
It was like
bad
10
idea.
million Orbeez or
That's unbelievable.
billion. I don't know what it was. It was something crazy.
Yeah.
You could drown in those.
Oh, Orbeez. All right, let's
I know.
talk about
Okay,
food.
all right.
I love how you tried to elevate the podcast by quoting Plato,
Yes.
and we immediately devolve into children's toys.
Play-Doh.
Took it right back down, didn't
Right
we?
back down.
Play-Doh to Play-Doh.
Nope.
That's
Man.
it.
So-
We've come full sphere.
That's right. Season 3, we've had a Shakespeare reference and a Plato reference.
Man.
Yep.
That's right.
It's very good.
We are
Very
high-minded.
good.
All right, so this is part 2, Megan, marketing to your sphere.
Let's do it. Let's dive right into marketing to your sphere. All right. So here's the deal with it. It's going to have to be a balance of quality versus quantity.
Yes.
So as you market to your sphere, you're going to touch base with them. You're going to communicate with them and in different ways. So you're going to balance this quality versus quantity. And once you find the good balance, and we're going to dive into that, you will have a really good plan to move forward with. So that is our goal today.
Yes.
Quick refresher
Yep.
from part 1, which we don't
It's
want
a
to forget.
simple game.
It's a simple game. That's all you need to know. That's it.
That's basically part 1.
That's it.
We took 30 minutes to say it's a simple game.
Coach Dick.
Coach
What?
Dick Alter.
Alter.
Dick Alter.
Yes. Yep. So by the great Dick Alter. Okay. So the first thing is that you're going to make sure from part 1 that you're organizing your sphere by level, and that's everybody in your CRM has a place, and it's there per level. It's going to be organized. It's going to be brilliant, and also by category. So specific people in your CRM are in specific categories. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. And now you are ready to market to it.
I have Dick Alter on my mind, and I just want to point out, which we haven't talked about this. We brought this concept to our team.
Yeah.
When we were talking about sphere marketing, we said it's a simple game, and we told the story of Dick Alter, and we preached Dick Alter left and right. And I really thought the team would grab on to the joy of Dick Alter, and really I think that only me and Todd cared
It's a
much
little
about the
tepid.
Dick Alter.
It's a little tepid.
It just the response was not great. So now we're trying to ram it down your throat, oh humble boom listener, and we apologize for
Nicole
that. but-
Johnson has enjoyed it.
good.
Team member of ours, Nicole Johnson,
Okay.
because she went to school with.
Oh, so she knew him too.
Dick Alter, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Well, okay. So if you know him, maybe that's fun. Maybe that's good for you. But
Shout out
otherwise,
to Nicole for getting on board there.
shouts
There you go,
out to
Nicole.
Nicole. Shouts
Yep.
out to Dick Alter. All right, sorry. Here we go. Todd.
All right. So you spent all of part 1 growing your sphere. You've got it. You know what you know who's who. And then Megan, as she just said, now we're going to start marketing to that sphere. So what I wanted to do here is I just wanted to be as specific as possible today with you about what you're going to do in your marketing efforts. Now, each of you will do things differently. You each have your own voice that you sing with. We say that a lot. So do your thing, but this is what you should, the very basics of what you should be. So when we go through, if you remember, we had our levels. We said that there's VIPs, level 1s, level 2s, level 3s. Okay, these are going to be the VIPs. They are killing it for your business. They're the golden geese. Your level 1s are going to be the majority of your business. Level 2s are potential business. Level 3s are no business. The bread and butter of your business will always be your level 1s. Now, you may have that golden goose that's feeding you a bunch and that VIP. That's huge, but they're probably not feeding you enough to support your business alone. That's where your level 1s come into play. So what we want you to do is we have developed a 33 touch system with your level 1s. And
Yes.
this- when we say 33 touches, that
Touch
means
number 1.
every
column.
year.
Touch number 2. Email.
Simple 33
Touch
part.
number
Just a
3.
simple
Mail a postcard.
simple game.
Touch number 4. Pop by. This is the rest of the podcast.
29 to go.
Touch number 6.
So what we want you to do, level marketing, going to your level 1s, you want to touch them 33 times a year, every year. Now, you
Yes.
may touch them more,
Yep.
but you're not going to touch them less.
Correct.
Okay, that's the goal. So we're going to break it down. 33 touches. First 24, 2 times a month, you're sending them an e-newsletter. All right, now you can contract that out and have somebody write it for you. That's fine.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you a little bonus tip.
What's next level?
Throw a little video in there.
I like that.
Yes, if you look at the statistics, if you throw a video at the top of your newsletter, you will about 5x your open rate.
Yeah.
Okay? Which means that if the national averages say that you're going to average about 8% on most newsletters, e-newsletters will open it up. If you throw a video in, you should be somewhere around like 35% open rate. And that's incredible when you're talking about 1 out of every 3 people will actually spend time on your newsletter.
Yeah.
And if you're doing that twice a month, that's a huge return.
Yeah, it's
all right.
big.
So use video on those, but do them twice a month. That's 24 a year, and they don't have to be over the top. It's just very simple newsletters. And if you need an example, reach out to us, and we'll just put you on our list.
There you go.
And then you'll see our newsletters, and then you know what? You just duplicate it and
Cut
send
and
it to your
paste.
people, because we are getting about on our newsletters. We're getting about 1 out of every 3 people will open those bad boys up. So we promise it works. Do it. All right, so that's 24 touches. You can add another 4 touches through mailers. And you're like, well, what do I send them? Well, you can send them whatever you want. I'll tell you what we send them. We do 2 parties a year, client appreciation parties. So guess what? Each one of those parties gets a mailer. All right. Then we send out, Megan and I send out a Christmas card towards the end of the year.
Nice.
We send out a year-end, year-beginning letter where we're like, hey, this is what last year was like for us. This is what our goals are this year. We'd like you to join us in that journey.
Yep.
All right. You can send out other thank you letters. Some people will do 4th of July. What's the apple pie, 4th of July, apple pie.
Yes.
Like they'll send out a letter there. Hey, if you stop by my office between these hours on this day, I'll give you a free apple pie. Just give me an RSVP so I can buy it. All right. There are so many things that you can come up with and easy ways to send a letter, but we're saying send 4. So now you're at 24 plus that 4 makes 28. Guess what? You're going to call twice a year. Now, this is very different than what a lot of people will preach. A lot of people are going to preach you need to call them every month and you need to stay in touch. And that is fine if that works for you. And if you can do that again, you can have more touches, just don't have less touches. For us, we have found the sweet spot for our clients not to be like, oh, God, they're calling again. We found the sweet spot is 2 phone calls each year. So for us, we have our client appreciation parties. Boom, that's 2 calls. Guess what? We're going to follow up with text. That's 2 text messages. So now we're at 32. And
We're
guess
almost
what? We need one more touch. Boom, birthday. Everybody has a birthday.
Everybody
Did
has
you
a
guys
birthday.
know that?
Everybody has a
I
birthday.
looked it up. I looked
Everybody
it up
has a
online.
birthday.
Everybody has a birthday. It's crazy.
What's wrong?
Crazy.
Megan and Christian, I feel like they're not on board about everybody has
Do you
a
guys
birthday.
not have birthdays?
No, we have birthdays.
We're superhuman. We have 2 birthdays a year, and you need to get us more presents.
Do you think the leap day birthday people, like
they're
obviously
mad.
they
Yeah.
still celebrate on their off days,
Yeah.
off
Yeah.
years or whatever?
Wait, they do?
I think so. I would assume
You
so.
have
Do they
to
go
celebrate
big
on
though?
the
Do
28th,
they go
and then
big
every
on
4th
the actual
year.
29th?
Like next year's a leap year, I think. So
It
that would be
is.
like super duper party year.
So they go big time on that, you
I would
think?
think so. Do you know anybody that has a?
I don't know any
I don't
leap
know.
year.
No.
Yeah.
No,
If you're
I
a
don't.
listener and you have a leap year birthday, will you let us know if people love you more on your
I
actual
don't know if
birthday?
there's actually anybody who's born.
I
on
don't
that
think
day.
they allow it. I don't think
Yeah,
they
they don't
allow
allow
people to be
people
born.
to
I think they
born.
close
Yeah.
the hospitals
You gotta
and they
hold
say
it.
no. Yeah.
Hold it in. Hold it in.
And you count down like towards midnight when it's almost March 1st. All right.
What if you were a
That's good.
twin where one twin was born on the 28th and one on the 29th? So that twin
That
gets
would be
to
crazy.
celebrate 4 more times before you do.
Man.
Man.
That would be
amazing.
wild.
Your
One would be a
life
quarter of the
sucks.
age of the other one.
Yeah.
It would.
Yeah.
So it'd
Yeah,
pay
but that's
off
not
in the
really how
long
it
run.
works.
Oh,
It would.
Okay.
No, I don't think
But
it
if they were
works that
dog
way.
years, and then
They'd have to
no.
put one in a spaceship, accelerate it close to the speed of light.
Yes.
So that
Correct.
time went faster.
That's
bring
right.
it back.
Yep.
They'd be the same age.
Space-time continuum.
We are so much smarter this season.
Notice how much smarter we are?
It's
Some
amazing.
malted milk balls.
What happened? Oh, did those all go away?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Somebody ate all the multi.
Well, it's been a
Megan
week.
doesn't know anything
It's
about
been a
it.
week. It's been a week. I hope they went away.
That's our whole week.
All right.
All right. So,
Where
if
were
you've
we,
seen
Todd?
it, You're level 1s. I have just basically told you our 33 touch system. Like I said, though, we actually do more than that because we do a bunch of other touches. Like
Yeah.
Megan's really good about sending out text messages. If you
Right.
see something on social media that somebody's like, hey, I got a new job or something like that, you shoot them a text message, give them a call, send them a handwritten note. By the way, did you notice there's no handwritten notes in this 33 touch system?
No.
Boom. So throw
Do
some
it.
handwritten notes in there, and now you're
Yeah.
at 34.
I love the handwritten
Boom.
note.
What about a coffee? Now you're at 35.
Man.
Pop by 36.
What?
Do you remember when
Another
33
phone call
was too
on their
much?
home anniversary. 37.
What?
It's just so easy.
The
You can
touches
just-
are
Simple
endless.
game.
It's a simple game.
Simple
So
game.
simple.
So that's level 1. Bread and butter. Do that, and I promise you, if you're doing that enough, you will start get the return out of that business, and they will feed you so much, and life will be
Man.
good.
Level 1s.
Unless you're born on the 29th of February.
And then
And
you're
twin
on
is
your
not.
own.
And your twin is not.
Awful.
So
Do you think there's ever been triplets that were born on 3 separate days?
No.
Yes.
I'm going to say
I-
no.
I'm going to say probably, but that's
I
so
doubt
rare.
it, though. No,
I'll bang
that
it. You
would-
guys go on. I'll
Terry's
bang
gonna
it.
bang it.
Okay. All right. Do it. All right. While Terry's working on that,
Yeah.
we're going to move on to the old VIPs. So we've talked about the level 1s, which are very, very important. And then you have your VIPs. Remember, your VIPs are the ones that have given you referrals before, and they're kind of like your golden geese. They can give you many, many hand over fist referrals. So what you need to do with them is all the level 1 touches, you're going to do the same thing for your VIPs, but then you're going to add a couple more 2 very personal touches. So that might be a coffee. It might be take them out for beers one night. Just be on purpose about doing extra things for them. Tickets to a baseball game, or just nice things that you can go do either together or you can offer to them. A special, pay attention to them on social media. Maybe it's something you're definitely commenting to on their posts. You're just touching them more because they should always be in your sights.
Right.
Those are the people that you should pay attention to. You should write handwritten notes, thank yous to them for sure. Just love all over your VIPs. And make sure they're feeling the love at all times. So, and then make sure that those touches are personal. You don't want to oversaturate them where they feel like it's just a business transaction, where you're just inundating them with like not exciting invitations that are very formal, and you just make it personal because you're very thankful for this relationship, and make sure you're giving back. So VIPs.
Well, that's one of the things that I love that we started to do this year was we do a VIP party, client appreciation.
Yes.
So we already have
Yep.
2 client appreciation parties for all of our clients, but then we have VIP, a specific one where we spend a little extra money and hang out with them. It's a very quality time because we want to
Yes.
keep that relationship growing.
Yep, and they know why they were invited, and you can talk about all that fun stuff.
I have a triplet update.
Oh, yes.
Tell us more.
We don't
This just
have,
in.
I don't have anything that's where they were born one day apart in succession,
Okay.
but there are some triplets that were born 2 days apart. So one was born, and then 2 days later, the other two,
other two?
were
Oh,
born.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
December 25th, this particular story, and then the contraction stopped completely.
Okay.
And then 2 days later, on the 27th, the other two came out.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know your body could do that.
Crazy.
Can do that.
Crazy. I don't know.
There you go.
Mother Nature is a mad scientist. that's a Seinfeld reference. Kramer says that. It's pretty true. It's pretty true.
good.
Where were we? I stopped
Good
listening to the
stuff.
podcast while I was looking that up.
We just talked about the VIPs, the most
Okay,
important
great.
part of your sphere. No
Yes.
problem. And we're
No worries. I missed it. It's
We're
fine.
diving right into the level 2s right now. What do you do with the level 2s? Because they're tweeners, man.
Tweeners.
They're your tweeners. But
Yeah.
here's what's exciting about them. What you're going to do is basically anything that doesn't cost you money. So everything like your 24 newsletters, you're going to do that with your level 2s. Anything, maybe if you have events that don't cost money, per person, you invite them to that. You can still do texts and phone calls, but your big goal with a level 2 is just to move them from a level 2 to a level 1. So
Yeah.
that's our goal. So just analyze and audit them every once in a while, and make sure you're touching base with them, you're seeing where they stand, and you're growing that relationship to get them on the other side of the fence.
Got it.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so that's all of the level marketing. We're going to dive into category marketing in a second, but first, Todd, over to you, buddy.
Are you looking to get a little more out of your podcast? Tired of the same old 3 guys, 1 girl utter nonsense with minimal content podcast? Want a little more bang for your buck? Well, tune into your favorite podcast provider and make sure to listen and subscribe to Real Estate's newest podcast, The Bang Podcast with Tad Ferris.
Oh, no.
I know I made the switch and I'm a huge fan of Tad Ferris and his Bang Podcast. Insightful, heartwarming, and you can just tell that Tad is a genuine and extremely, extremely attractive individual. Tad Ferris and The Bang Podcast, helping you build an even more amazing business so you can build an even more amazing life.
Wow. I can't believe that we decided to throw that sponsor in. That feels like one we should have
Made that
rejected.
decision. I don't
Seems
remember
competitive.
greenlighting that.
Does seem like we're in a similar space. That's interesting. Wow. Okay.
I don't
So,
see the
Tad-
problem. I don't
Tad
see-
Ferris?
It's Tad Ferris. Yeah, I don't see the problem.
If
All ships raise tides.
that's not right
Nope.
or true. Or
Doesn't seem right.
I feel like he's sabotaging this podcast.
I like the idea that Todd's podcast would be more focused than this one. Like more content, less shenanigans. That makes total sense.
So good.
Oh, that's a good time. All right, thanks, Tad.
Tad or Todd?
No, it's Tad.
Tad.
It's Tad, yeah. It was loosely based on a character called Todd from this podcast.
Do you have a twin born on another day?
Yeah, right.
It's
Todd
Leap Year
and
Tad.
Todd and Tad Ferris. That's fun. Okay, Todd, you can dive into category marketing with your usual heartwarming, poignant content.
All right, so we talked all about level marketing. So that's the category 1s, 2, 3s, VIPs. Now we're going to talk about, levels 1, 2, 3, VIPs. Then we're going to talk about category marketing. So category marketing, again, these are going to be people like you got a new buyer, you got a seller that just closed on a deal, you've got a hot prospect, you've got a long-term prospect. These are all categories that you can put them in. You can go even further than that, though, and be very specific with your categories. You could have like, here are my college friends, here are my fraternity brothers, here's people from my old job, whatever you want. You could be, if you're a gardener, do you know what that's called when you go to look at birds?
Something or other?
Ornithology.
Ornithology?
Or it is ornithology, but I was thinking of a common name
Ornithologist?
for it. It's just
Bird watching?
Birdwatching.
Bird watching?
birding.
Birding. Oh, yeah.
It's
You're a
just
birder.
Birding. Yeah, you're a
Oh.
birder. You go
Yeah.
birding.
That's right.
Boom. So there you go. So you could have your birding group if you wanted to. But basically what we're going to do is we want to make sure that we're marketing to them as well. So we're going to put them on the same. They're already in our CRM. So they should definitely already be a 1-2, a VIP. So they're already getting that marketing. But then on top of that, you can do some additional marketing to them because they're in a certain category. So if you've got like a new lead, a hot buyer, something like that, why not have something designed just for them where they get, say, like 6 emails, maybe one on the first day, one on the second day, then 2 days later, another one. And each email could be boilerplate stuff that you've got pre-formatted and it's all good to go. It's kind of like set it and forget it. Just put them on the drip campaign, let them roll. All right. So you could also do that with like your birding group. You could say like, I'm going to have a birding newsletter that you want to design, right?
Hey, birders.
Just
I
set
wanna
it
be a
up.
birder.
It has nothing to
Hey,
do with
bird.
real estate, but guess what? They're becoming more, they know you more, they like you more.
Yeah.
And then if you just drop some hints that you're a real estate agent, then they're going to trust you as
That
well.
Tad
I
Ferris,
love where
he's a
this is
birder.
going.
He's a real
He's a
strong
real
birder.
Bang
birder.
podcast.
Good.
All right. But the big thing is, regardless of what you're going to do, it's got to be strategic, which means you got to have a plan. So make sure that you plan those active categories, get them all set up, get it organized, be efficient, and if possible, try to have as much of that be automated as possible, and you will enjoy it even more. By the way, one quick thing I just thought of. You might have level 3s, which are people that you're not going to market to because they've got a brother who's in real estate or something like that.
Right.
But let's say they fit in your birding category and you market to them from birding. A lot of times those other realtors don't make it. And you've been marketing to them the
Nice.
whole time,
true.
just not a real estate light. And all of a sudden when they have a need, they're coming to you.
I like that. Yep.
Shaboom.
That's true. Okay, we have bonus tips, but before we get to those, for the first time in season 3, it's time for producer Christian's Tech Tips.
It's a tech tip.
Did you almost forget to say it? Did you almost forget to say it?
Yeah, I'm trying. I'm
You
working
got a
on it.
lot going on over there.
Good work. No, this is exciting, Christian.
Don't forget to
I'm
change
excited,
it. There you
Christian.
go.
Okay, tech tip.
Season 3. Bring it strong.
There's 2 kinds of people in the world.
Oh, here we go. I know
Yes,
what this
boys
is.
and girls.
You've heard me say this before.
Birders and non-birders.
No, that's not what I was gonna
Identical
say.
twins born on different days.
Nope. But those would be 2 different kinds of people in the world.
Dead and alive.
There are people who have. Are we gonna do the tech tip?
All right, let's close it up. That was the Tech Tips today. That was great.
There are people who have lost data
Oh,
and people who will. This is a time machine backup.
good.
Okay, so I want to point this out. Tech tip for today is back up your data. Specifically back up your computer.
Yeah.
I know what a lot of you are thinking. You're thinking, well, I back up to the cloud. I have Dropbox or I've got
Yeah.
some other Vault program or something like that. It's fine. But if you lose your computer, if you step on it, if you back over it, if one of your kids throws it on the ground,
Yep.
a time machine backup, you hook it up to a brand new computer configured the same way.
Yeah.
Within an hour, you're up and running again.
It's good.
If not,
amazing.
you go to the Apple Store,
Oh,
Yeah.
boy.
build it, they give it back to you. You got to put all your stuff back on it. You got
And
blah, blah, blah.
nobody
It
got
might
time
take
for
you a
that.
week to rebuild that system. You've lost productivity. With this, you plug it in. And in the case of Apple's Time Machine, there's PC products that do the same thing. If you're on the PC side, you can use a cloning tool that will just clone your disk sector per sector. And when you put it back in, you put the disk in, it writes the whole thing, and you're back exactly back where you started.
That's a good one.
Quickly,
Man.
So
Glorious.
back up your data. In this case, I use this is a 5 gigabyte. The bigger the drive, the
doesn't seem
longer
very big.
back you can go.
That doesn't seem very big.
Yeah, 5 gigs, and it doesn't have any power
Is that
supply.
big?
Is that big? 5 gigabytes
It's big, but the drive itself is small. So what it does is there's no. We're passing it around
I never know why we pass this stuff around.
because it makes you guys laugh. It's so ridiculous.
Do you mean terabyte or gigabyte?
Terabyte.
Okay, you said gigabyte.
Did I say gigabyte?
Like, that's the worst.
You're like 5 gigabyte.
So
Sorry.
small.
5 exabytes.
He passes it around every time, too. What's heavy?
It's time for it.
All right, thank you, Christian.
It was wonderful. Okay, I got you.
Awesome.
I
You
got
can
you.
get one video
So
on there.
good.
Just one 4-minute video.
All right. I'm just gonna try
This
to.
holds 5 gigabytes.
Todd goes. It seems small.
Like 10 photos on your iPhone.
That's really good. But it seems small. Oh man. All right. I'm gonna.
It's worth every penny you paid for this podcast.
I may switch over to the BAM podcast now.
Tad.
Tad. He knows his hard drives better than us.
Oh, it's good stuff.
All right, Megan.
All right,
let's
bonus tips.
tip
So
it out.
sorry. All right, we've got a couple quick bonus tips as we leave you. The first one is automate as much as possible. So put as much in your CRM as you can. Have all your newsletters and everything scheduled to go. Have reminders and just have it automated so you don't have to worry about it. And then on top of that, the other bonus tip is delegate as much as possible. You guys don't need to do data entry and all of that. Just delegate it to some help. Have people helping you do your newsletter, send it out, put your data entry in with your updates and your new clients and your Sphere information. And there you go. Bonus.
We did it. We
Did you ever
survived
think
it.
about something in your head and it sounds good in your head and then it comes out and it just
And
doesn't
you're like,
work out?
"Ooh."
Doesn't work out like what you thought it would.
Oh, man.
Yep.
That's today's
That's
tech
my
tip.
life.
There it is, episode 4, The Only Thing to Sphere is Sphere itself, part 2. Email info@boomrealestatepodcast.com and sign up for Todd's webinar, boomspheremarketing.com. It's free. It's an hour deep dive into the stuff. It is good times. If you continue with this podcast, we'll see you next time in episode 5, and otherwise enjoy Tad's
Tad Ferris,
podcast.
BAM Podcast.
The BAM Podcast on iTunes and Stitcher.